What is up, risk takers? Welcome to the Kill Pete strategy. I am Pete. I am a top player playing Risk Global Domination on PC. I have a daily release schedule on YouTube. I do Fixed Friday every Friday. I do the Waiting on Your Best Behavior podcast, now back from hiatus. And I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Toronto time. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and come along the ride with me for today's show. Playing Classic Fix with my buddy Parlox in VC and live on Twitch. How's everybody doing today?
Hello, hello.
Hey, buddy.
So,
we just did some Magic Arena practice.
Yes, we did. So, here's what I was thinking. I've heard you talk about your ideas about execution and crime in general, and it really intrigues me. I find your ideas to be generally unique.
Yes, aren't they? I have fairly extreme views on just about everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And from the bits that I did hear of your opinion on capital punishment, it does seem like something that I would want to talk to you about.
Well, here we are.
Right. So, first off, let me ask you a question that may seem ridiculous because it's obvious, but still, I want to understand slowly. Do you think the current system of execution in the US is a good one?
No.
Why?
So, commonly used as an argument against capital punishment is it costs more to execute a convict than it does to keep them alive for the rest of their life. Now,
right.
The idea of that being used as a argument against capital punishment is adorably stupid because it's an argument against the obvious terrible design of the US legal system. It's not an indictment of the concept on any inherent merit or lack of merit.
So execution inherently is not bad. It's just the system that makes it is bad.
In my opinion, so here's the biggest philosophical understanding to get if you're interested to understand where I'm coming from. In my opinion, I see a lifetime of incarceration as more cruel than simple execution quickly.
Why?
Because I see a lifetime of incarceration as a form of torture. So my core value is freedom, pretty much above everything else. And if I can't have freedom, I would rather be dead.
Right.
Because I have less than nothing, right? I'm being forced to continue my life in some form of twisted, useless slavery.
Okay. Why do you think then that it's better for everyone to be dead rather than free, rather than unfree?
Well, so the next piece to understanding the position I tend to take is to understand the level that I am trying to have the conversation on.
Okay.
So a lot of folks, almost everyone, with the exception of a small number of people, misunderstand the logical depth that I'm working on this problem from. I'm interested in talking about systems-based design solutions for all of our problems at their logical root. So if you look at how would you design a justice system, I'm not all that interested in talking about how to iterate from where we are to where I think we could be. And I'm much more interested to talk about if you were to design a system that actually looked fair and was just, how would you do that and what would it look like?
Right.
Right.
So that doesn't really answer the question that I posed to you.
Give it to
I
me.
understand. Right, I understand that you value freedom above life, right? You'd rather be free. I mean, you'd rather be dead than unfree.
Correct.
So then, it seems like you assume that that's for everyone. Say that execution is better than a lifetime of imprisonment, but how? Why would that be correct for everyone?
Well, the assumption is, as a systems designer, that you are designing a system for everyone. So the best thing is that I am not the person who gets to choose this. I am not a powerful man, right? I am not a leader. I am simply a philosopher asking questions and talking about the architecture of what justice would look like if it were possible. So when you apply your own logic, you would want to make it universalizable, right? This is the categorical imperative that Kant is talking about. Yeah, we want to keep Parlox's exterior alive? Sure we do.
I'll just take it to Australia. Don't worry about it. I mean, he'll take it out anyways. Anyways, so back to the point. I see what you mean.
Yes.
Hold on. I just have to finish my term. Sorry.
No, take your time. This is why it's classic fix. It doesn't demand much of us intellectually.
I know. Hold on. This doesn't work. Damn it! I'll just get a card off it, I guess. And then, damn it, that's the right? Just suicide it because I want to be nice.
Yeah, you want to make friends with Magenta?
Yeah. All right. Anyways, back to the point. So, okay, I understand what you're saying. Next up, I would like to ask you. So if execution is, as you say, pricier than a lifetime of imprisonment, why do we do it then? If it costs more money,
Because it has become an industry.
No, I'm not saying why do we do it. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm not. I didn't mean to ask why do we do it currently. I'm asking why should we do it? Because you're advocating for execution, right? In some form.
Yes.
So why should we do it if it costs more money than
because it doesn't need to cost more money. The fact that it costs more money is not an indictment of the theory. It's an indictment of the method.
Okay. How could we make it cheaper than imprisonment?
Well, the first thing you would need to understand about a fair legal system is, I believe that a fair legal system would be one that would be easily understandable by the simplest of those that it governs. Meaning, the profession of lawyers is a very interesting magician's trick that they've pulled. So they give themselves this false legitimacy, making the law as complicated as possible so that they can then justify decoding it and giving themselves high-paying jobs in perpetuity, and then furthermore electing themselves into the political class, right? Most of our legislators today come from the legal profession, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my opinion is that almost all lawyers are fundamentally morally compromised. They make the world worse, not better.
Why?
Because if you are adding unnecessary complexity to a system while extracting resources from that system, you are rent-seeking. You're not adding value. More laws and more rules don't make our world better.
Okay. Let me approach this from another angle for a second.
Sure.
Right. Hold on. I thought about it and then now I forgot. Sorry.
Take your time. It's a
Yeah.
very complicated thing to talk about, particularly on the level that I'm trying to talk about it on.
Yeah, that's fair. Hold on. Damn it! I just can't remember what I thought. It's annoying.
I was shitting on lawyers.
Yes, before that. Right. So, wait.
We lost Parlox, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
we broke his brain.
I just can't think. I don't know. I had a thought process and then I completely lost it off track, and I'm completely off track now. I don't know what I'm thinking anymore.
That's fine. We can transition to talking about this game of classic picks until it comes back to your mind.
Yes, it looks like you're having fun in Africa with Black.
Well, not as much fun as you were losing that 6 feet 3 or whatever the fuck it was.
It was 7 before. Thank you.
Oh, there you are. 7 before is also a risky roll, but I would have taken that any day of the week too if I was in your seat.
Yeah, thank you.
Bull's like, we shouldn't have laws and lawyers? I think we should have much simpler laws and the legal profession should not be allowed to make things any more complicated than is minimally necessary. I think the overarching philosophy here is that things are unnecessarily overcomplicated on purpose and for profit. And that is parasitic.
Right. Allow me to get back to the point.
Yes.
Okay. So, who should be executed?
Well, there you are, right? The very first thing you need, that's why I start with this logic, right? The first thing you need in the context is the laws must be fair. They must be agreed upon, right? So we would need by all of us. We would need a political context that was fair and just before we could start imprisoning or executing or punishing people in any capacity. Right? The predicate is justice and fairness. So how do you build that?
Do you think it's possible to reach a system where everyone agrees?
Yes. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't talk about it. You see the common refrain in my chat. That will never happen. This is impossible. This is fiction. And to that point, I say, if you believe we cannot change from this horribly broken world into something better...
I think no. So, no, we should draw a distinction here, I think. Mm-hmm. Because I think what a lot of us see, in your opinion, that we can change to something that everyone will be happy. It sounds perfect, right? It sounds like a perfect world where everyone agrees with everyone and everything's perfect. And I think what they're saying is that we will never reach something that everyone can agree on, not something perfect. Maybe we can improve.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. What they're saying is something different, Parlox. I'm saying let's talk about redesigning a broken system to make it better. What people who say this is the way it is, it will never change are saying is you're wasting your time talking about this because it's the way it is, and because it's the way it is, it will never change.
So maybe the problem is with you. Maybe you're misunderstanding it, because it sounds to me like you're saying stuff that sounds like an ideal situation, like perfect, and then they immediately instinctually think, well, that's impossible. We'll never reach a perfect system. So they reject your ideas. But
which is fine. But that's not what I'm saying. Yeah. So
right.
I get misrepresented constantly, and you could imagine that would be very frustrating.
Yes, I can imagine that. Okay, I understand.
Okay.
So I still don't exactly understand. So
Sure.
you say that we should only execute or imprison people if we have a fair system.
Well, I think, first of all, is we should never imprison people. That's
Okay.
horrible. That's torture.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay, so let's not torture people. What should we do
So
for punishment?
it's either execution or just let them be.
Well, ultimately, you would want to iterate to a system where punishment didn't really become necessary. So how do you build a system of distribution where human beings exist at a decent minimum?
All right.
How do you take the bounty and all the resources of this world, the fruits of our technological progress, and turn it into something that the lowest among us not only understand how they are being governed, they consent to it, and they live at a standard that is good enough by some mutually determined metric?
Okay. I think first of all we can agree that the standard has changed a lot in the last few hundred years because the people have become much more educated than they were even 500 years ago.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, another thing. Hold on. What would be the ideal method of execution?
Some kind of injection, I would imagine.
Why?
Right? Something that would kill you as quickly and painlessly as possible.
All right. Do you know that already exists?
Sure, I imagine it would.
Right. That already exists, and a
Yeah.
lot of times it's repeated.
Sorry, you cut out there.
Okay. So it already exists as a method of execution, and it fails, and it brings a lot of pain to
Yep.
the executed.
That's that's torture. Yep.
Right.
We should
And
absolutely not
it's
torture
not on
people.
purpose, but it happens.
Yep.
Right. So how would you make sure that doesn't happen, if at all?
Technological design.
Okay. Next.
You've thought about this a lot. Good for you. I'm enjoying.
I know.
I'm enjoying that you're asking like intelligent questions.
Thank you. So, okay, even if we have a fair system, right? Well, the people who are executed are people who deserve it according to the system,
Yes.
according to the rules that we have in
Yes.
place. What if we execute innocent people who haven't actually done anything wrong in this case?
It's not a what if. That certainly would occur. That's not a hypothetical.
Right. So what?
Right.
I know.
Yep.
How do we deal with that?
You accept that it is the case.
Why do you accept that? Why is that okay?
Because the cost of not accepting it is more expensive.
In which way?
So we currently exist in a system where many people live in poverty. Many people live on the street. If you were to juxtapose those people with those living on a free ride in penitentiaries, and you were to say, it is a logically correct decision for my well-being to be a criminal, to reject the rules of society and instead put myself in incarceration such that I can have healthful food and clothing and shelter for the rest of my days. It is a logically correct decision for me as an individual to murder another human in cold blood for my well-being. You were to look at that from the outside and say, that strikes me as insane. That's just a bad system. Right. So we are creating incentives that make no sense.
Yes.
Yes. So how would you design a system of fairness that says folks who go outside of the bounds of this system are simply removed from it. And every once in a while, we are going to fuck this up. But it's way cheaper than accepting what we currently do, which is thousands of homeless people, thousands of suicides, thousands unemployed, millions. Like, it's in billions in poverty. We're finally lifting out humans out of abject poverty. After how long? It doesn't seem like anything resembling a fair calculus. It's not even close. And yet we accept it as given because it's just the way it is.
So, for my understanding of your philosophy, what you would do about this is give a minimum that, so people aren't going homeless, so people aren't in that dire of a need. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
All humans. The idea that any human alive today accepts that any other human alive today should go without food or shelter, the fact that we all don't see this as horrifyingly unacceptable and working tirelessly to put an end to it, shocks me.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to topic if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. I just have to. It's gonna happen a lot because I'm tired.
Hey man, they're all the same. They're all the same topic to me.
Oh, thank you. What did I say? I can't remember right now. This is really annoying.
Yeah, it's all good, man. We're just two guys hanging out playing a video game talking. That's an important thing that I want chat to remember. Okay? Everyone takes what I say so seriously or so out of context. I'm talking about a systems design problem. I'm not talking about any specific example of this or that. Accept your enslavement. Accept the way things are for what they are. I'm also an idiot playing video games and you're choosing to watch my show. Take it for what it is. You know? I'm going to be wrong about a lot of this. But I'm also talking about something that's very difficult and complicated. So I'm shooting my best shot at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Pete.
Yes, sir.
I remembered what I wanted to say. So, what about the idea of... Damn it! Now I forget the word. I remember that, but I forgot the word for it. So, but I'll just say it in a weird way. Hopefully, you understand what I'm trying to say. So instead of executing people, what about the idea of helping them get back to society?
Well, this system could create that in a roundabout way. So if you were to remove criminality from the gene pool within a couple of generations, the society would be fixed somewhat, yes? Assuming there was no need for theft because everyone had the resources they required.
Hold on. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, hold
on. Second. This being an asshole.
Uh-oh. Oh.
I'm just having fun here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Oh, yeah. Anyways. So, where was I? So you're saying in a roundabout way, like eventually, but what about the possibility of having people who we execute who could potentially just help them get back to society and not be
it's all possible. Do we what do we understand about recidivism, right? That the criminality seems to be formed in childhood and adolescence. right? That criminality is a psychological component.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to address something that you said. You said
Mm-hmm.
it's a possibility to eliminate criminality from the gene pool.
Yes.
What what's that even mean?
What does that even mean? Well, the notion that human beings are not undergoing an evolutionary selection pressure and that we are somehow outside of evolution is this sort of strange magical thinking that we seem to enjoy. We are evolving, right? We are changing as organisms into whatever we will evolve into.
All right.
So eugenics is treated like a bit of a whatever the opposite of a sacred cow is, right? Something that you can't talk about. Like it's a taboo was the word, right? Eugenics, talking about eugenics is treated as a taboo.
Right, because it's closely related to the Nazi philosophy.
Well, the Nazi philosophy is the most egregious version of it, but it's historically something that has existed in the zeitgeist of different cultures, around the world. And
yes,
my point is, I'm
the Nazis.
Yeah. Well, they chose a particularly horrible and arbitrary thing to focus on as unacceptable.
Right. And since the Nazis, eugenics has been treated as sort of a horrible thing, a taboo, as you say.
Exactly, a taboo in polite conversation. So it's a good thing I'm not having a polite conversation. I'm having a philosophical one.
Right.
And my point is that it's not whether eugenics is occurring. Eugenics is occurring. Right? We actually okay. Human beings have a rational self-interest in benefiting themselves and benefiting their offspring. You would want your children to be the happiest and healthiest they can be, as would I. Right? Okay. So, given that makes sense, we are going to take action to ensure that occurs. And as we get more and more technologically advanced, we have more and more access to what we choose to select for. So if you don't think that once genetic engineering becomes advanced enough, we will end up with 200 IQ, 8 feet tall supermen, then you're kind of kidding yourself. Because if our society doesn't, then another society will, a competing society.
Right, but you said eugenics is already happening. Where is it happening? How is it happening?
This exact process, right?
Is it happening right now?
You're familiar with I think it's happening right now. I think certain people who have a vested self-interest in improving their family and improving what they see as the ideal. I don't know what to do right now. I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah, I get it.
Kind of stuck in
I just don't understand how I just don't understand your point about eugenics happening right now because I just don't get it.
Yeah.
That may get us to the point where eugenics will actively happen, but I don't see it happening yet.
I mean, it's not happening on the genetic level.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, okay, take Yao Ming as an example.
What is that?
Yao Ming is what is he, like 7 foot something tall basket player?
Okay.
Yao Ming is a Chinese basketball player. He is 2.29 meters. What's that in feet? He's a very tall man. He's 42 years old, born in 1980 in Shanghai. Yao Ming is the product of a man and a woman Chinese basketball players with the goal of breeding a very tall man, and success, the Chinese did it.
I see.
They did it without genetic engineering, of course. They did it with selective breeding. But that's eugenics.
I see what you mean. Okay, I get it.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm just trying to understand your idea. I don't mean to say anything offensive.
I'm not taking you can speak freely to me, man. You're my buddy.
So do you support some kind of eugenics?
I support controlling something that is occurring rather than pretending it doesn't exist.
All right. In what way?
Right.
How would you control eugenics?
Culturally. The same way I would try and fix the legal system.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. We have to... This is... And that is the segue, Parlox. Thank you. This is the segue to the root of everything I'm trying to say and everything I'm trying to remind people of. We lack the agreement on the definition of progress as humans. And we need a system to find that agreement.
All right. And what system would find the agreement?
Step 1, having these types of conversations. Finding people who are able to have the conversation at the logical root. And stop wasting our time and wasting our breath convincing people who are going to tell you that things will never change because they're just the way they are. That's cool. You can say that to me. But I'm not going to waste my time talking to you then, because you're going to waste mine, and mine is precious.
All right.
Right.
So, do you mind if we change topics, like, completely?
I would love it. What do you got for me?
Okay, so I saw an interesting action in your chat. Andrew Tate, who is
Yes.
who was recently blown up on the internet.
Yes.
What do you define?
Try again. You're cutting out.
Cutting out. Okay, so sorry. It's just my internet. I can't control it.
It's fine.
So, how would you define him, first of all?
What do I understand Andrew Tate to be?
Creator or what? What is he pushing? What is he doing, basically? That's what I'm asking.
Andrew
What do you
Tate
think that he's
is
doing?
a combination of a philosopher and a business person, ultimately. I would say more business person than philosopher. So he is a salesman. Right? He's selling a product.
And what does he sell?
And
what product is that?
I don't know exactly what he sells. I don't know a ton about his products, but I get the sense that they're designed to help weak men feel strong and then hopefully become strong if it works, which it may or may not. We don't know. Because I don't consume this
so
product.
I have some ideas about...
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I know some stuff about him. I don't actively watch
him.
Yeah,
Kyle says it better than me.
Some
Kyle says he's a weak man selling strength to other weak men. That's sure. Well, but he definitely portrays himself as a strong man.
Sure. So I know a few things about what he sells because while I don't watch him particularly, I watch some criticisms of him.
Okay.
So, from my understanding, he has a multi-level marketing scheme. He's basically telling people, subscribe to my club, and if you join, you're guaranteed to make money. That's what he's saying, basically. And then when people subscribe, he gets all the money, and eventually they lose it, right? Do you understand? Damn it. Can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, I just had to get another cup of coffee.
Okay,
so as far as you know, it's not a product so much as a scam, eh?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
basically a
okay.
scam. It's a multi-level marketing scheme where
Okay.
he
Well, fair enough.
basically from my understanding, the product, quote unquote, that he's selling is a Discord server with a few people who volunteered to give some info about basic finance, and then when people subscribe to him, he gets all the money, and they either lose the money or basically no matter what, they give Andrew Tate money and they don't get anything back.
Okay. So it's a scam.
We agree.
Yeah. Okay.
And the way he sells the people the scam is by telling them all this shit about how to become an alpha male and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing you said is you don't listen to what he says, but you listen to criticisms of that.
Yes, because I think he basically 24/7 he spews out bullshit.
Okay.
He says shit that he
then why are we talking about it?
Because he has become popular.
Ah. Okay.
Right?
I tend, if I'm interested in what someone has to say, I tend to listen to what they have to say.
Right. So basically, I don't want to talk specifically about what he has to say. I want to talk about the impact.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So yeah. So he has blown up recently. He has become much more popular than he was before. And I think the main reason is, as Kilton says, weak men, right? It's masculinity. It's people, men mainly, who find that they want to be masculine, but they don't. They can't quite reach it.
Okay.
Right? Do you agree with me?
Well, it's so my bias here is it's very hard for me to identify and empathize with not being masculine because I've always been this way.
In what?
I am fairly masculine on any dimension of what masculinity would exemplify, right? I'm fairly extreme. Just like I have fairly extreme views, I think of myself as being fairly extreme on the continuum of masculine and feminine. I mean, I have emotions. I'm reasonably in touch with whatever my soft side is, so to speak, but I don't actually equate the softness with femininity exactly. It's obviously it's a complex thing, but I'm hyper masculine. I would self-identify as that.
I think it's the fact that people don't feel like they are masculine while they should be, which is how they feel like, and also the fact that more and more people over the last 30 years since the internet basically have become all the time at home and doing never going out of home, which makes people lonelier and as such makes men feel like they are not what they should be. They don't have a girlfriend, they don't have money, they don't have everything that they want, and so they failed. And they're weak, and so they search the internet and they find this guy Andrew Tate, and they say, damn, he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's saying, so I'm gonna listen to him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there is a surprising lack of positive male role models in our Western culture at the moment. And I think that trend is accelerating, and I think that trend is indicative of the end of empire. It's one of the signs you'll point to say this is what Rome looked like at the end, right? Decadence and a confusion about who we are and where we're going. So it doesn't surprise me that a person like Andrew Tate would appear and tell people they have the answers, and all of a sudden they do. Or at least seem to, because so many are disenfranchised by the way things are.
What do you mean specifically the fall of empire? So you mean is like make it more specific because I don't
So,
understand. You make it sound very vague.
if you juxtapose the U.S. global hegemony to ancient Rome, or to the British Empire, or to the Byzantine Empire, right? Empires have a cycle. There's a rise and a fall, and the generations during the rise are strong and robust, and the generations during the fall are weak and decadent and more obsessed with how things look than building or maintaining meaning and strength and truth and justice, right? It's people fighting over status or hedonism, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we are the generation that gets to live to see the old empire fall and the new empire grow, whatever that new empire may be.
Right.
Did that explain it satisfactorily?
I do understand your point. Yes, yes. Honestly, I can't think of anything else to say.
All right.
I would like some suggestions from chat. Maybe we can find some stuff to talk about.
Sure. Suicide and break the game apart? No. Okay, but here's one thing you do, Parlox, that I don't appreciate. You ask me all of these questions, but then you don't contribute what you think about it. Is that because you haven't thought it through?
Well, partially, yes. I never really had the time to think it through. That's part one. Mm-hmm. And reason two.
So risk being wrong.
Okay, I don't mind being wrong.
Yeah.
That connects to reason two, though. So, I am of the belief that I don't have the answers because I don't know everything.
Me neither.
I will always have to assume something, and I will always be wrong at in some point in something, always. And so I'm afraid to push my belief because I don't know how wrong I am. I know that I'm wrong at some point, but I don't know how wrong I am.
Appreciate it.
And I don't want to. You see, I'm just not the type of guy to tell everyone that I know what I'm talking about and I know
everything. But neither am I. Right? The whole point is if everyone thought like that, nothing would get done because everyone would prioritize not failing over trying.
I understand. Yeah. I see what you're saying. And yet I find it very very difficult to state a decisive solution because I always have that doubt in my mind that I don't know that for sure, and it might just fail. And you know what I mean?
I do. So what?
My belief.
It's not all on you. It's not all on your shoulders. The way I think about it is this is a collaborative process. I'm stating fairly extreme, radical, insane views, right? And I'm running it through a logical filter, and then people will check it. And if people can check it earnestly on the level of analysis that I'm interested in talking about it, then I will talk to them and spend my very precious time furthering the conversation. And the very few people who can do that, I'm extremely interested to hear what they have to say. And then we both get to fail together and continue to iterate an idea. This is so hard to talk about because of centuries of idea suppression and the evolution of language away from free thinking. Right? Did you ever read 1984? Did you?
I did not.
I would recommend the book or listen to it. It's excellent. It's not a long read.
I've recommended it many.
Okay, give it a shot, man. You'll get a lot out of this.
I've tried to read it. It's a long story, but I wanted to read it in the past, and it never happened. I might do it soon. Anyways.
Yeah.
So let me state it concretely. So, you know, I'd rather not contribute and not state my own beliefs than be wrong and confront the fact that I made a negative impact on the world.
Well,
in that way,
I would argue then that your fundamental premise that trying and failing equals a potential negative impact, it's not. It also happens to be the only way we grow.
Right. Look, I'm not saying I'm correct about this. I'm just saying it's how I feel, and
Yeah,
I
well.
can't really control it. I can try to improve. I can try to correct it.
That's why we're talking about it, dude. You're going to grow up, and you're going to be faced
Yeah.
with this decision many, many times, right? Do I
Yeah.
take the risk of failure and learn if I do, or do I take the safe road that leaves me comfortable and stagnant? And there's a yin and yang there, right? There's a balancing point. How old is Parlox? He's 15, yeah? 15?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. At some point, I'm gonna have to actually think about it because I do think I don't know. Here's the thing, right? Um, you always talk about how your beliefs, you have thought them deeply, you have thought them through, and although you might be wrong, at least you know that you thought about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I gave it a shot.
and
yeah.
yes. Well, the about I don't think about like just sitting down for like a full week thinking about stuff, and I've never really had the time to think my through. I've never really done that.
Okay. Because you go so fast and you spend, your mind is going on so many different things all the time, right? You're almost overwhelmingly, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's fine. I was always a generalist, Parlox. This is an important thing I think folks in chat might, if you know me for a while, you might know me, but until the pandemic, I was fairly balanced and general in my knowledge and my lifestyle. I did a little bit of almost everything. And then I decided finally to really lean into whatever my latest obsession was, which just so happened to be Risk. I said, well, I have literally nothing else to do. What am I going to do with my time? I'm playing this game every day. Okay, cool. What would it look like to become one of the best players in that game? And then I document the journey, and the process of documenting helps my game. And here we are, and it becomes successful in the most wildly unexpected way I could imagine, right? The fact that 173 people are sitting listening to you and I talk about the crazy shit that came out of my mouth is consistently mind-boggling to me. And it's a blessing. I'm so grateful that anyone is interested to hear me talk and hear me be wrong. Did we lose Parlox?
I think it's awesome that
here.
you've managed to do this.
Yeah, it's a miracle. It's nothing short of a miracle to me.
Right. So, let me give you my personal response. You say you're generous. I think you're right. I might as well say it for the viewers and anyone who wants to know. I'm a bit of the opposite. Whatever I do, I always really lean in on it. I always do it with laser focus, and I basically don't care about anything else in my life.
Which is a trait of a person with your set of mental abilities.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not going to speak for you, but what I can tell of your Parlox is an extremely analytical mind, right? You're someone who is very active, and I'm sure your mind is very loud. It's always telling you a story, and it's always trying to solve problems. It's very good at solving those problems. But the strength of your mind is, can be a detriment as well, right? Let's say you want to relax, or you want to sleep, or you don't want to feel this feeling, but your mind, it keeps telling you, no, you should feel this way about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, when I think about it, Risk is really the only game that I've played for like more than a year. Because every other game I played it for like 2 months, and then I just quit. Because I don't give
You get bored.
I don't. What?
You get bored.
Yes, because because I get used to it and I get good at it to the point where it doesn't interest me anymore. It doesn't challenge me. I think there are many factors that made Risk a good enough game for me to focus on it for a long time. Although I have taken numerous breaks in between. I have been playing the game for a few years now. I think if I had to list them, is well, first of all, is that there are so many great people in this community that I can connect with. It's awesome.
Sure is nice to have friends, isn't it?
It is, yes. There are a lot of people in this community who I find sane and nice.
Back at you, buddy.
Thank you. And the second factor is, well, it's the fact that I find the game to be simple, which might sound like a bad thing because it's so simple. Like, why do I even care? But it's simple enough to the point where I can focus on the details, and that's what I find fun, to optimize things, to to think, what can I improve? Even though I'm good, how can I get better?
We completely agree. Risk is simple in the right way. Once you get it, you can become quite good at it with effort rather than natural ability.
Right.
But you have both.
Thank you. How do I say this? Hmm. I wanted to say something, but then I realized it makes no sense, and now I don't know what to say.
Just shoot
So
your
let's
shot,
move
my
on
friend.
to another.
Okay, you got another topic.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to talk about?
Oh, what's on my mind?
Yeah.
No, I'm happy to be relaxing on a Friday. Not really working too hard.
Yeah, that's great.
Just chilling.
Yeah. My family happy today. I chose to stay home alone with my dog.
What type of dog is it? You told me once. It's a mix, right?
Yeah. She's small. She's cute. She's 7 years old. So yeah, I've been home alone for like a few days now. So I really appreciate that because you might think that it would be better for me to go on that holiday with my family, but I've had a tough week, and I told them I'd rather just be alone and have.
Yeah, well,
time
knowing
for
what I know
myself.
of you, you would probably really enjoy, spending a day or two just by yourself, right? You get fairly overwhelmed by people too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah. So I appreciate the fact that I have these few days for myself, and I've
Good.
been enjoying myself.
Yeah, learn some arena. Kick my ass, dude.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So what are we going to do about Classic Fixed here?
It looks like it's not going to go anywhere until someone decides to suicide.
Someone has to make...
Honestly, I was really surprised that I didn't die first because, I was stuck
Who's
in
going to kill you?
Australia.
Me? Then I wouldn't be able to talk to you because you would leave.
No, I'm not. I wasn't talking about you.
Oh, okay.
I was stuck in Australia, and Pink was getting upset at me, and I was sure that I was gonna die because I also, had to get out of there and let Green get in because I just didn't want to stay stuck in Australia and eventually die. And then somehow Pink just let me have Europe, which I find very odd. But here I am, and I somehow survive. I think there was a huge chance that I died, that I could have died, and I didn't somehow. Anyways, what else can we talk about? Let's have some suggestions. That would be nice.
What's the ask?
Let's have some suggestions for talk about. I'm asking the viewers.
Viewers, Parlox would like a topic.
Yeah. We've talked for a long time now, so I'm kind of running out of ideas.
Maren says, what's your opinion of fast food brands? Ooh, meditation. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about meditation.
All right, go ahead.
What is your experience?
With meditation?
Yeah.
0.
Okay.
Nothing.
So I believe this will be something that will be hard for you to get, but once you get it, will help you unlock your mind's abilities. It will give you a new superpower. Okay? So if that isn't a compelling sales pitch, I don't know what is. So here's what meditation is to me. And tell me if any of this sounds like something you'd be interested in.
Go ahead.
I believe that there are 6 components of physical health for any human being. The 6 components are strength, balance, flexibility, endurance, diet, sleep, and meditation. So the reason meditation is integral to my understanding of what physical health is because we really exist in this mind-body dichotomy, where we are trained to think of the mind as a separate substance almost from the body. And I think
the soul and then there's the body, right?
Sure, the soul, right, whatever that word is.
Yeah.
So if I ask myself the question, who am I? And then I ask myself the question, what is my mind? And the best way I can understand it is, my mind is a tool that solves problems. That's all it does. And it's very good at what it does. So when we think of ourselves as mental, good game. What do you mean?
I think Pink is gonna suicide.
You think?
Yeah. They've been saying good game to each other. It's gonna happen. Pink's just gonna suicide on Green.
Okay.
Yeah, here you can see that. All right.
Well, let's see it. Because if something has changed, then we can go on the meditation spiel in just a minute. Aha! 69.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, so
he just wants us to team on him.
Of course he does. Yeah. What meditation means to me is it is the way you train your mind to turn off. Almost everyone, based on the way we have been raised, based on the types of technology we are inundated by, almost everyone has an extremely loud mind that is talking to them constantly. And it doesn't shut the fuck up. And that's not because you are your mind, although it would love for you to self-identify. It is because you have not trained your mind and you don't know where the off switch is. So that is what meditation means to me. It's you sit, you listen to your breath, you focus your attention on your breath. There is no goal, there's no intention other than that, because focusing one's attention on something is the thing you do, right? Who you are is the thing that pays attention. That's what we are. We are a tiny shard of consciousness observing the universe pass through us. And paying attention to something, and then noticing you're not paying attention to it, and then bringing your attention back to it, is the rep. That's the bicep curl of meditation. Sit, pay attention to your breath, wait for it to inevitably get focused on something else, and then bring it back. Rinse, repeat. So the failing at meditation is the succeeding. And I have found personally, in my own meditation practice, that the benefits to my memory, the benefits to my mood, and the benefits to not being forced always to be subjected to this story has unlocked a tremendous amount of potential and quality of life.
Interesting.
Yeah, give it a shot. It's that simple. Spend 10 minutes out of your day.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Well, it's happening, buddy. What? Do I do it? What do you think?
Yeah, I think you do.
Why?
I mean, you don't have to.
I mean, I just think it's kind of dumb to do it, isn't it?
I mean, you do what you want to do,
I-
my friend. I'm not going to tell you how to play the game of Risk Global Domination.
Right, here's my thought process. If anyone should do it, it should be Black. Because he's
Yeah,
the
but Black's
strongest by far.
Black's not unlocked.
He can unlock himself within a
How?
turn.
Oh, using a turn, sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're not gonna gain 100 troops in a turn, are they? So as long as that doesn't happen, Black can just kill him next turn. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying something different. I'm saying I want to see the 1v1 Parlox versus Black. Let's go!
Why? Why did you do it? Pete,
What?
why did you do it?
Why not?
What? You do realize that's just like giving up the game, yes?
I said I want to see the 1v1 Parlox versus Black. Let's go.
But why? What do you gain from that?
I get to see the 1v1 Parlox versus Black. Let's go.
I deny your let's go.
You're gonna kill me. Huh? You can't deny my let's go because we already went.
Damn it.
We already went, my friend.
Okay.
Let's go.
Fuck you.
Fuck me. I don't know. 318 to 394. Does Parlox have what it takes to take down the Black Menace? Yamillo. Yamillo's definitely in chat, eh? What flag is that? We got an expert, 54,106, 20 hours in the game. All right. Yamillo starting with a 300. Oh, shit!
No.
Oh, yes! Get fucked!
But now you win. Why is that?
No, I don't win. That's crazy.
Oh,
I don't win the game of Risk Global Domination. That would. You shut the fuck up. What? How could
Damn
you?
it. He just gave you the win. Ah, damn it.
Oh my god, he opened the stack! That's awesome.
I mean, he didn't even need to. He could have waited a turn, but he wanted to unlock you. Damn it.
Good game, man.
Good game.
I thought that was an excellent chat.
Well, what can you do about it?
I'm torn about allowing comments on this video when I publish it. What do you think? I think the majority of the comments are going to be nonsense time wasters, focusing on minutia that doesn't matter and doesn't advance the conversation.
I mean, I don't know. I don't mind the comments.
Yeah, so okay, so here's what I'm going to do. If you made it to the end of this video, here's a caveat. Engage with this conversation earnestly on the same level that I mean it. And I will read it with respect and consider your words. If you approach it from things will never change because the way they are, you are shouting into the void. And if you approach me with negativity, all you are doing is contributing to the YouTube algorithm and benefiting me. So if you want to help advance the conversation, I want to too, and I want to have it with you. But those are my terms, so to speak. Because my time is limited, guys. I would love to play with everybody. I would love to spend time talking with everybody. But as I might have mentioned once or twice, I have a bit of a learning disability as far as reading goes. So it takes me a long time to read all of these comments. So I demand, if you're going to try and engage with me earnestly using this medium, that you are succinct and efficient with your communications, and that you're honest, and you try. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, I wish you the very best. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Magic Arena.
Are
if
you
there's
ending
some
the
demand... Yeah, I'm going to end the stream. If there's some demand for that on
is
YouTube,
tragic.
I gotta go on with my day, my friend. If there's
Okay,
demand for
goodbye
Magic Arena, okay, bye, Parlox. Thank you so much, dude. I love the chat. I really did.
Thank you too.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you found some of it fun and entertaining, maybe even a little bit educational and informative. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and come along for the ride with me. I have a daily release schedule on YouTube. I do Fixed Friday every Friday. I do the Waiting on Your Best Behavior podcast. And I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon Toronto time at a minimum. If you're able to support me on Patreon and help me continue to do this work, I would be most grateful. And if you're looking for notifications on the Discord when I go live on Twitch, come on down and join the Kill Pete Strategy Discord. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. I love you. I appreciate you. And until next time, for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck. Now let's all go give Maddie a raid and give him a follow, please. He'd love to have you. Have a great day, everybody.